Hello again. This time I'm going to look at how conventions can trip you up. There are certain things which are absolutely nailed on standards in encrypted crosswords, and you almost without thinking after a while start to substitute certain parts of clues for certain parts of answers. The trouble is the setters know this full well and they use them to trip you up. So I'll show you exactly the mistake I made quite recently in exactly that way. I saw a convention, I went for it, it was wrong. It took me a couple of minutes to go back and unpick what I'd done. So have a look at this. Run, notice little, then rest, shattered. 10 letters. Run, notice little, then rest, shattered. Now, there was a very obvious convention. I wonder if anyone spotted it yet. I did do an episode about cricket terminology being a very common feature of cryptic crosswords. And run is always an R, and runs is a double R. And I covered that, and without thinking I put an R at the start of this word, and run is always an R, except when it's not. So, 10 letters, starts with R, means shattered, because I know if wordplay, if this is a part of the clue, my definition must be at the other end. Perfectly simple. And I'm thinking, a word for shattered with 10 letters, starting with R, it's pretty good. I was quite confident. So I went down that road for a while, and I'm thinking, okay, notice might be C, or maybe a word for notice that's little, that's shorter, and I tried to start breaking it down like that. And then I realised that rest, shattered, if it wasn't shattered, maybe it was an anagram of rest. And I started to think, but if that's wordplay, then my definition must be at the other end. So it turns out that the definition is run. Run is not a part of the clue, but because of the cricket thing and because that's such a common piece of crossword functionality, I went straight for R, it looked good, I didn't question it, which I should have done. Because the answer is run, and then this all becomes wordplay afterwards. As soon as the definition's at that end, everything goes back. And suddenly, you're thinking 10 letters meaning run, rest shattered, possibly an anagram of rest. You know it's then rest shattered, so that presumably is coming at the end. S-T-E-R, word for run, starting to look pretty good. So if that's not an R, it's the definition. Notice then becomes ad. An advert, a notice in a sort of theatre brochure or something like that. Little simply becomes mini, administer. But I went down the wrong road for ages thinking that started with an R because it looked so good. And then when I realised I was wrong, same as actually last week I was talking about reassessing your sort of fundamental assumptions. And that one, that's a lovely little devious trick of just saying, I know you're going to put an R at the start for a while, unless you really think about it, which I didn't. And eventually you're going to have to reassess your whole sort of structure of the clue, do it the other way around. And I did eventually get to administer, but via a roundabout route because I fell straight into the trap. So yeah, watch out for conventions being used against you. When you think you know something, don't just drop it in. Question it, see if it fits with the rest of the clue. Go back and take it out if it's not working for you. All right? Happy solving.